Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another episode of CampusCare EdTalks. EdTalks is a platform where educators and leaders come on board and express their viewpoints related to education and society. A topic for the discussion is the rising popularity of bite sized learning in school. And to express his viewpoints on the same, we have with us Mr. Sudhanshu Shekhar Nayak, sir, Principal of Podar International School, Pune. A very warm welcome, sir.
Thank you.
How are you doing, sir? It's so good to have you here on this platform.
I'm doing great, ma'am. I'm just looking forward to share my experience and my views on this.
We are so excited to hear your experiences from you, sir. So let's start off with the session, shall we?
Sure, ma'am. Sure.
So, sir, how do you explain bite-sized learning? What exactly is that?
Uh, it's the word itself says everything. It's a bite-sized learning. It's like something that you can bite at a time, which you can consume it, digest it, and take the benefit out of it. Is what we are looking at. We are talking about micro learning. We are talking about learning which the learners can carry at ease, can retain it at ease, can reproduce it at ease. That's what we are looking at. So when we are saying bite-sized learning, probably after the corona times and with the present generation where the attention span has gone drastically down, then no one has the time to listen to long lectures, huge PPTs, presentations, and forget about going through those huge volume books. So probably we're looking at a microchip like a Japanese technology where we can carry the maximum power in the minimum space. So bite-sized learning gives us that scope where we can look at the knowledge in a very compact manner, where the learner is ready to take it without having any kind of inhibitions to accept it. What we are finding in the school, especially in the context of the school, ma'am, is that the students' attention span has drastically decreased. The attention span has decreased. Maybe some people will say it is bad, but I would say that is it good in a way also because the students have become a little vibrant. They are not looking at only one aspect. Let me give an example to you. If you ask a student today that what is that you want to do, he is at the same time thinking on five different parameters, right? When we are talking about somebody as a technical person, maybe his language is completely deficient and not appropriate to the space to which he belongs to. As a result, what happens, there are a lot of things have been loaded in one particular person where the rest of the things are not been accommodated properly. When we are talking about bite-sized learning, then we can probably compartmentalize things in such a manner where we can keep structures like the random access memory, like a RAM, where it goes and then again you create a space for the rest of the things to come and get accommodated. So bite-sized learning is easy for keeping. Let me give you an example. Suppose why bite-sized learning is coming into relevance. People see a video because it takes less than 2 minutes, right? People see probably e-commerce. It takes around 3 minutes or so. People do a podcast. They watch it maybe a couple of minutes. It takes. It's less than 10 minutes or 5 minutes. People go and learn a TED talk.
Yeah.
It is more than say around 18 minutes, 18 minutes and above on the higher side. But if you listen to a lecture in a school, it's 45 minutes. But then what we can do in that particular lecture itself, we can design it in such a manner that every bit of it designed in such a way, one is related to another, and it is designed in a very concept driven manner rather than as a whole compact knowledge that we have to give it. So I wholeheartedly, as a school principal, as an educator, welcome the bite-sized learning. I would say that this is a must today to go forward.
Thank you so much, sir. That was a very wonderful explain of what bite-sized learning is in education. So moving forward, sir, do you think this bite-sized learning can improve the attention span of students and anyone?
Absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely, yes. Why? Uh, it's very catchy.
yeah,
If we see an advertisement which where we see there are a lot of things written, it doesn't catch our imagination. It actually we cannot read too many things. If you see today's readers are actually a little superficial readers and guess readers. You see the person is reading actually in the first word, but his eye is actually on the seventh word. And when he's not even finished half of the first line, he is actually has gone into the second line.
yeah,
So they do not read word by word. What they expect is that they're pretty fast in their generation. We can retention will be very helpful. Even uh, going than that, if it is a refresher, suppose in a kind of a bite-sized learning, a refresh training, if you have to give on a particular subject, that is also become very easy, man, because you have a very compact thing, pointed wise things you can give it, like bullet points you can give it, and the students need to give. May I also give you something related to that? Suppose if you give me a little freedom, I will tell you something about a English prose or a poetry.
yeah.
Let us take a stanza. Let us take two lines. And the poetry has, or the poem has around 16 lines. But let us not, the teacher go and read the entire 16 lines to the entire class. Let the teacher go there and say that each one of you can choose a particular vocabulary out of this particular poem, or take a sentence that clicks you. And then you start thinking on it and tell me where it is, what the author wants you to understand, what do you understand, what is that you want to clarify from the author.
Yeah.
So, have you not done a surgery of that particular poetry? You have exactly done a very, when one person doing that entire 16 lines, or you tell one person to just take one line or a one particular keyword and start venturing, exploring on that particular word, that will make more sense to that person. And that person, when he makes sense to the other people, their sensible things also will make more sense to him. So, because of the bite-sized learning, the peer learning will become better, because everyone is not carrying a heavy baggage.
Yeah.
They are carrying a very simple, fundamental things that clicked them as per their interest, as per their thinking process. So as a result, other persons also have taken something which actually clicked them. So what happens is that nobody is doing the work of like a donkey. Rather, all of them are working in their own areas, and they're making the job easier for each other. So that way, it will be very helpful for retention. For it will be helpful for even subject wise also. We can have bite-sized learning. Mathematics, if you see the volume of it, the people get scared, but not necessarily every math bit of it that you need to apply in your life. What you need to do is that start learning the concepts. Concept understanding should be more appropriate. So we are not talking about concept, we are rather talking about the conclusion here. We are always ready about what the producing they'll be doing. So bite-sized learning will be something that will be also very crucial when you create not only bite-sized learning, also you have to create modules which should be bite-sized. If you don't create a modules appropriate for, if you create books which are huge and you say we'll be promoting bite-sized learning, it will not take place. So what we need to do is, as we are preparing for bite-sized learning and there are huge demand for it, make sure that you also create the platform that is ready for to be rolled out. That will be beneficial. That's what I feel, especially in the school.
Absolutely, sir. I think we all can agree with you that the poem, should be divided within the parts and all those things you told us. So moving forward, sir, do you think if implemented, bite-sized learning, does it look promising to you?
It is indeed very promising. Uh, the saying goes like this: if you cannot move with the time, the time will move on, and you will be just left behind. So the time demands that we get into the bite-sized learning. We learn the technology, learn the. It's not about only e-learning or learning platform. I think bite-sized learnings are in demand because there are a lot of educational institutions the worldwide which are welcoming it. There is already a technology which is working on it. There are universities which are embracing it, wonderfully, and making sure that their students are prepared for it. The faculties are also to be trained, training it. It is looking good. But having said that, we in the school also we need to take a lot of efforts. Maybe it is happening in some of the very high profile and good schools where the technology is integrated in a better manner. But in the mediocre and some schools which are still not full fledged into this kind of learning, they are still not taking the appropriate steps. The faculties need to be trained more than the students. I think the faculties who are to teach this, they should be prepared. It can be only promising when the teacher and the students both take it seriously and integrate this into their life, inside their classroom. More than that, there is a third stakeholder which should be also taken into consideration, that these are the parents. So if the parents don't accept it, even if the teacher teaches and the student learns it, when they go home, we still go back to the traditional ways. And we feel that, beta, agar if you don't study this way, then it is not going to be happening. Sometimes we still live in the 20 years back. Though we are in 2022, we talk like 2002. So 2002 is no more. 2022 also will be no more after that couple of months. We'll have 2023 and 24. So it is very promising. Not only promising, it is giving a lot of solution to us. So when something is coming with beautiful solutions and the solutions are looking long lasting, it is a welcome change, I would say, ma'am.
Thank you so much, sir, for being here today. It was a very wonderful session with you. I hope you too did enjoyed it.
Yeah, I just would like to conclude by saying something that bite-sized learning, as I told in the beginning,
Yeah.
it's something that it reminds me of Ratan Tata, who said, if you don't eat your food like medicines, time will come when you will eat your medicine like food. So today, if we don't accept bite-sized learning, then this bite-sized learning is going to eat our bite, have a very big bite on us. So before the bite-sized learning bites us, it's better that we accept it and make it part of our life and grow stronger every day. Thank you so much for having me here. I just loved it. I hope I have spoken something that is sensible and that will give some insight to this particular topic, which is extremely crucial in today's life.
Thank you so much, sir. It was a very wonderful session and a very informative one. Thank you so much for being here again.
Thank you, ma'am, for having me here. Have a wonderful day. See you again. Bye bye.
Thank you, sir. You too. And
Thank
for
you.
all the viewers watching us out, please don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more stuff like this. Thank you, sir. Have a great day.
You too have a great day. Thank
Thank
you. Bye
you.
bye. Bye.